This is Tom Dillon, the Lifetime Liberal. Today is Thursday, May 5th, 2016, and the title of this rant will be How Trump Won by Being a Conservative, Orthodox Deviant. So if we just look at a year ago when Trump first announced, no one thought he had any chances of winning. The Huffington Post even indicated that he wouldn't be on the political section there. He would only be on the entertainment section. But things have changed considerably. And how did they change, and why did they change? And what does it show for the Republican brand coming up? And how will it affect the election? So what we have with Trump being the nominee is we're seeing a huge departure from the conservative movement. And what we're looking at now is a probable general election loser, which is one by no means certain. And number two, let's admit he will be a formidable general election candidate. And it will be a long, hard, difficult, dirty campaign. So he's not traditional. He's a conservative, orthodox deviant. A year ago, no one thought anything about him being there. And so let's go back a little bit. What set the stage for all this? Number one, the Republican brand blows. For the 8 years of the Obama administration and even a number of years in the Bush administration, the aspect of what the Republicans have been selling to their rank and file sucks. They don't believe in it, and their leaders are no one that people can truly identify with. Right now you have McConnell, you have Paul Ryan, and you have Ted Cruz, and before that you had Mitt Romney. And of course, especially with Cruz, especially with McConnell and Ryan, you have people who are talking out the side of their mouth, and it just doesn't make any sense because the only thing that they've been able to sell has been a decrease in taxes. And we have seen that just a decrease in taxes and freedom, oh, by the way, we have to have freedom, is that the Republicans have been constantly involved in the problem, but they have never, ever been involved in the solutions for their rank and file. And I'll give one example of the minimum wage, whereas all 17 candidates indicated that they were not in favor of raising the minimum wage. And I believe that it was South Dakota, one of those states right there. I think it was 2012, maybe it was 2014, where there was a petition on the ballot to increase the minimum wage. And of course, that state, South Dakota, very, very red state, it passed. So the representative government that the Republicans have been branding and have been selling to their rank and file isn't what the rank and file want. So if there were separate things on the ballot for, say, global climate change, comprehensive immigration reform, increasing the minimum wage, equal pay for equal work, taxing the wealthy, they would all pass. But that Republican representation in the House and the Senate doesn't go for any of these things. So they're really going against their rank and file. So the Republican brand blows. And number two, the media kowtowed to Trump all over the place. And I remember, I don't really listen to him when he comes on. I really changed the channel because he says the same thing. He doesn't shut up. He doesn't let people in, or he won't let anyone interrupt him. He will not answer the question. And, I'd like to see someone just say, I'm going to ask you a policy question. Don't talk about personalities. And if you get off the question, we're going to cut off your mic. All right? I want the answer to this. We don't see that. So he got about $2 billion in free advertising, so to speak. And of course, because he was glib, because he was fast-spoken, because he said things that weren't traditionally said by candidates, that all of the media loved him. And they kept him on because they knew that people who were channel surfing would stop and listen to Trump. So the media plays a big role in this, and they did not ask him the questions. Of course, some of them did ask the questions, and of course, it did not stick at all. the third part about the media, or another part about the media was because of him getting all of that media attention, the 17 other candidates, or 16, I can't remember how many, he drowned out everyone else. And I would say something else, that those other 17 candidates, they were not nearly as strong as what people had said that they had, because you're coming into an election year where you have 8 years of one administration in. Traditionally, you get rid of them. That didn't happen when Reagan and Bush happened in 1988. And of course, it switched after Bush this time. It switched after Clinton last time. Will it switch after Obama? So the thing is, number one, there's a standard there that you don't nominate or you don't reelect the same party to a third term, so to speak. That's number one. Hillary has high negatives. That's number two. But there was no coordinated strategy to get rid of Trump. Everyone thought he would drown himself out, but he just sort of kept it all going. He kept running and running. Now, the thing is, he is a deviant from conservative orthodoxy. That's it, plain and simple. The three legs of conservative orthodoxy were basically cultural, economic, and foreign. I talked about his foreign the other day, where it's very, very dangerous. And of course, on the economic issues, he's been back and forth on a lot of things. And on the social issues, he's been back and forth on a lot of things, where he does not meet the conservative orthodoxy. But as I explained earlier, the rank and file of the Republican Party wants solutions to their problems. They don't want just cut taxes and freedom. They want real solutions to their problems, and the Republican Party has not given that to them for a long, long time. So, the big difference that has made Trump where he is right now is he has jumped on the cultural issues, and he has identified, he has identified the cultural identity of his voters. And that is, he has made a huge issue of the immigration. He's made a huge issue of Muslims. He's made a huge issue of political correctness. He's made a huge issue of the media. And he has made a huge issue in terms of women and blacks, where he has been degrading towards them. So the example I would give just on a couple of them would be, we have a Muslim problem. I will solve the Muslim problem for you. Just elect me and I'll get rid of them all. Very demagogic, very, very much a demagogue. I will get rid of them for you. We have a Muslim problem. I'll build the biggest stinking wall out there. It'll be beautiful, and it will keep all of them out. Meaning, we have an immigration problem. I will solve that immigration problem for you. Oh, and by the way, all the ones that are here, that are not here legally, we're going to deport every stinking one of them. All right? We're going to do that. I will take care of you. The media doesn't give it to you straight. I will give it to you straight. I will not be politically correct. All right? And where I think it's really going to hurt him is where he has been condescending towards blacks and towards women. So what he has found the cultural identity of his voters. Anti-immigrant, anti-Muslim, anti-black, anti-women in some cases, anti-PC correctness. They want the truth. They want to hear it. They want someone who stands up for them. All right, and also anti-media. And the question is, where will this take him? A lot of people are saying he doesn't stand a chance. But as I said, he will be a formidable candidate. He's very glib. He's very open. He demands. How would you say? He commands the room that he's in all the time. He's a typical A1 personality. He's probably what I would refer to as a double helix, a social dominator, so to speak. I'm not going to say Hillary is a weak candidate in any way, shape, or form, but right now she is well ahead. She's well ahead in all the major states. She's ahead in the battleground states, and she's even ahead in some of the traditional red states. But there's a long way till the nomination. There's a long way until the general election. A lot of conservatives are vowing now that they will never vote Republican. I've read a lot of that. I'd like to read some more because, they're saying that they're such a strict conservative. But you see, the problem is that these are part of the leaders, whether they're it's mostly the people on social media who are against Trump, because they are the pure people. And of course, the pure people really only represent 20% of the general population, 20% of all voters. But they command what's going on at the top of the Republican Party, have driven the Republican Party further and further to the right. As I said, Trump has found the cultural identity of his voters. I do not feel that represents the great, vast majority of voters, that he will easily be defeated, but it will be a down, dirty, vicious election cycle. It has started and it will continue all the way through the election cycle. And if Trump loses, let's put it this way, he won't stop. He will not shut up. He will keep his mouth going even after that.